It's Monday, August 27th. Aimed at curbing the role of money power in elections, the Election Commission is proposing limiting political party expenditure in polls. Currently, there is a cap on campaign expenditure of individual candidates. Political party expenditure, though, remains unrestrained, which is why, despite, say, the 70 lakh expense limit for a Lok Sabha candidate, you see crores being spent, with the excess channeled as political party expense, exploiting the loophole in campaign finance laws. The EC will today ask political parties for their views. Jagdeep Chokar of the Association of Democratic Reforms told the Hindustan Times the move is welcome, but pointed out that 99.9% candidates grossly underreported expenses. The real solution is to bring political parties under the right to information. Congress President Rahul Gandhi has triggered a fresh controversy over the 1984 anti-Sikh riots by denying his party's involvement in the massacre of Sikhs that killed close to 3,000. If Congress leaders were not involved in anti-Sikh riots, then why it withdrew tickets to leaders H.K.L. Bhagat, Jagdish Tytler and Sajjan Kumar? Why was Jagdish Tytler removed from the ministry in the Manmohan Singh government? Shiromani Akali Dal leader Sukhbir Singh asked. In August 2005, then Prime Minister Manmohan Singh had apologized in Parliament, saying 1984 is a negation of the concept of nationhood. Interestingly, in a March 2014 interview to news agency PTI, Rahul Gandhi had said that he shared the Prime Minister and Sonia Gandhi's apology over 1984. The Supreme Court will today hear petitions challenging the constitutional validity of Article 35A that grants special rights and privileges to residents of Jammu and Kashmir. Article 35A disallows non-permanent J&K residents from buying or owning immovable property in the state and from getting government jobs or aid. The petitioners contend that the article creates a class within a class of Indian citizens. Also, restricting Indian citizens from buying property and getting employment is violative of fundamental rights. The apprehension in the valley is that doing away with Article 35A will eventually erode Jammu and Kashmir's autonomy. Both mainstream parties and separatists have warned against any tinkering with the provision. It is largely because of this man, Vijay Bojala's persistence that Johnson & Johnson is being taken to task in India over faulty hip implants. In 2008, Bojala got the Johnson & Johnson articular surface replacement implants, following which he had multiple medical complications. In 2010, the hip implants were globally recalled by the manufacturer. A report by the committee set up by the Health Ministry after Bojala knocked on every door now reveals that at the time the hip implants got a fresh registration certificate in India, they were already being recalled in Australia after being found faulty, something the company did not divulge. The expert committee has accused the company of suppressing facts on the adverse effects of the faulty hip replacement systems it imported and sold for use in surgeries on hundreds of patients. South Africa has reacted sharply to US President Donald Trump's tweet, echoing right-wing commentators' claims on the South African government seizing land from white farmers and widespread attacks on them. South Africa, until 1994, practiced institutional discrimination, known as apartheid, under which black people could not own land in most of the country. Time reports that when apartheid ended, 90% of the land was owned by the white population, and despite the best efforts of the government over 2 decades, white people still own 72% of agricultural land. White people make up 7% of the population. White South African households on an average are 5.5 times richer than black South African households. It is with this in mind that the ANC government is planning land reforms. Experts have also dismissed claims of large-scale killings of white farmers. The link between the murders of journalist Gauri Lankesh, rationalist Narendra Dabholkar, communist leader Govind Pansare and writer M.M. Kalburgi, tenuous at first, are now being firmed up if investigators are to be believed. The Maharashtra government now plans to reiterate its recommendation to the Union Home Ministry to impose a ban on the Sanatan Sanstha under the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act. The state government's recommendation has been pending before the Union Home Ministry since 2011. The Sanstha's name first came up in connection with the 2008 blast in Thane's Gadkari Rangyatan. Now the anti-terrorism squad is reportedly preparing a fresh dossier on the basis of the 5 arrests made recently. The 5 are accused of planning to carry out attacks in different parts of Maharashtra. But don't the 5 in custody belong to different fringe groups, you would ask? ATS officials say their links to the Goa-based Sanatan Sanstha is made out based on call data records, bank accounts and emails. Dhirendra Jha, author of the book Shadow Armies, who researched the Sanstha, writes, the organization, established as a charitable trust by spiritual guru Jayant Attavale in 1991 with a hydra-like structure, has seen a steady growth. Over time, Attavale's enterprise gave birth to several outfits, all of which owed allegiance to him but presented themselves as independent entities instead of affiliates of the Sanatan Sanstha. The Sanatan Sanstha, for instance, was registered much later in Goa with an office in an ashram in Ponda. Other ashrams of the Sanstha, like those at Panvel and Miraj in Maharashtra, were registered as separate trusts, as were organizations like the Hindu Jan Jagrati Samiti and Dharm Shakti Sena, and its Sanatan Prabhat newspaper. Given the activities the Sanstha members have been accused of, it's not inconceivable that Attavale considered the legal advantage of creating a network of independent outfits instead of forming branches linked to a mother organization. And finally, it was raining silver medals for India in track at the Asian Games. A photo finish for Duti Chand, just missing the gold by 0.02 seconds in 100 meters. Hima Das and Mohammad Anas won the silver in the women's and men's 400 meters. This is 18-year-old Hima's first Asian Games appearance. PV Sindhu and Saina Nehwal have reached the semi-finals, assuring India of 2 medals in badminton singles, ending a 36-year singles medal drought for badminton at the Asian Games. Will it be an all-Indian final? We certainly hope so.